Amanda, from any of the stuff that we've talked about, is there anything that you think that we should hit on? I mean, we've been all over the place. I think I've enjoyed it. It's been shit posting and then apparently therapy for you.
I'm fine, Phil.
That I sprung on you.
I'm great. I don't know what your problem is.
Hey, another week. Oh, wow, I have no voice. Another week, another Wednesday, another A Conversation with Podcast, the podcast where I try to relearn how to talk to other human people face to face, and also just specifically bring in people that I think are interesting to me. And today's interesting person is CallMeCarson, aka Carson King. He's a young and incredibly successful YouTuber, streamer, entrepreneur, comedian. I recently became aware of him a few months ago. I've been really fascinated and really excited to see where he goes from here. But yeah, I brought him in, didn't know what the hell to expect, but had a really fun time. So enjoy that, and I'm gonna go rest my voice.
Hey, welcome to A Conversation with. My name's Philip DeFranco, and today we're having a conversation or something like it with Carson King, aka CallMeCarson.
How's it going? You doing good?
I'm good. I don't know if we're gonna include any of the other stuff, but I kind of feel like, because it was just 8 minutes of oddness, and but I kind of, that's why I invited you. Actually, wait, so to kind of, because I feel like we're gonna go off the rails a number of times.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll have kind of prefaced this already. For those who haven't watched you, how would you describe who you are and what you do?
Okay. I am a online content creator that dabbles in a variety of content with a somewhat sarcastic personality, I guess. I don't know. It's very hard to describe what I do.
Sure, because it's a little bit of everything, and like the main channel is really all over the place, but it's like once a month, and I imagine with it being such a big variety, that's part of the reason.
Yeah.
Then you have your live stream, the highlight channel, your podcast, which you said that I can't call it by its name because of legal reasons.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
We got a cease and desist from Gwyneth Paltrow because our name was Goop, and that was a red flag for them because her company is called Goop. So we ran into some legal issues there, and now we're working on getting a new name for everything we're doing there. So
even if you call it Goopcast, too close.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well,
no one would confuse you. She's what? Vagina, eggs, and lawsuits.
Well, they have a Goop podcast.
Oh,
so
news to me. News to me. Is it where they say other ridiculous bullshit? I don't know, man.
I've never watched it.
Well, obviously, you wouldn't try and steal their name on purpose.
No.
I'm like nervous though, even you mentioning that, because I will say, out of all the people that have like kind of recently come across, like that I watch their careers, their audiences, your fans are wild in the sense of like they swarm to like everything you do, everything you touch. Yeah, well, I was saying one of the first reasons I found out about you was I was being a narcissist. I was seeing how my episode, or how like a random cut they included on was it FBE was doing, and then I saw you, and then I saw like the comments. It might as well have been your fucking channel, and I was like, oh shit, okay, let me check it out. Which, I mean, I guess they're like your best advertisers.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I grow a lot through just memes and people being way too attached to me. So
way too attached. How would you describe your relationship with like the people that watch you?
I call them all idiots on stream and stuff. I mean, no, I appreciate them all, but it's also like, it's very fun to, I don't know, it's like a back and forth because they all make fun of me and I make fun of them.
I feel like that's healthy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the land of the meme. I don't know. I'm just going to say boomer shit so that people can start calling me boomer.
All right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was watching a podcast recently that you were on, and you said that your fans like to refer to you as a cuck.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Is that based off of anything?
No. Well, okay. I have a goofy appearance, and I kind of have a what's the word? I'm kind of like a nerd stereotype in how I come across and look, and that also kind of goes into cuck territory a little bit.
because you're a nerd?
I don't know. Well, I also play up that kind of stuff all the time because I don't take myself seriously.
You mean you play up to the character?
No. Well, that's definitely okay. We were talking before the podcast about what is a character and what is not.
Sure.
I don't see any of it as a character, but I do see it as like just improv and not taking myself seriously. So if I find something funny, I'm gonna make jokes about it. One of those things is playing myself up as a cuck or an incel or whatever.
Sure. So is that by you doing that, is that kind of like your way of being like, that's the ultimate confidence? Like it doesn't even fucking matter.
I don't think about it.
You don't think about it in that way? It's like, okay. All right. So, so with that start, I was interested in how you got into YouTube.
Okay.
Just because I know I've heard you talk about like you were watching when you were 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 20 now?
I'm 20, yeah.
20.
Had to think about it for a second.
At 20?
Well,
when do you turn 21? When are you full on can do whatever in the United States?
May 10th.
May 10th.
Yeah.
Are you excited, or it doesn't even matter? The world's essentially, you can do whatever the fuck you want right now.
Yeah. I don't think about it. Birthdays, I don't know. For a while now, I haven't really cared about birthdays. Since like 18.
Since 18, yeah. The rest
21's kind of a bigger one, but
at this point, because once you're 18, right, and you start going out on your own, it's almost everyone kind of does whatever they want after 18.
Yeah,
although
that's true.
Is it accurate that you're straight edge?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. How long have you kind of thought of yourself in that way?
Oh, well, it's not really thinking of myself in that way. It's more just I don't really want to partake in those things.
Sure.
Personally. But it's been my entire life pretty much. It's from upbringing and respect for my family because there was drinking problems in my family, and I don't want to be a part of that. And I don't know. It's just I would rather put my time into other things.
Sure, I get that. All right, so you start to bring it back. You start, you're 12, 13. What are you watching on YouTube at the time? Do you even remember?
Yeah, well, sort of, kind of.
What do you mean?
The first stuff I watched was just walkthrough videos. That's how I got started watching YouTube. Was I got into Pokemon at the time. I started watching like Pokemon walkthroughs because I wanted to be able to beat the game because I'm very bad at video games. And then from there, I started watching more and more content on the site, and then I was like, "Oh, this Nyan Cat thing is funny. That's fucking great."
Isn't it crazy? Like you just forget all these fucking things existed.
Yeah,
it's the biggest thing in the world. Although I was like, there's still probably like 3 people doing fucking Harambe memes.
Oh, I'm still doing Harambe memes. Yeah,
you're keeping it alive single-handedly.
Yeah, because I think it's funny.
How many years ago was that?
2016.
Gee, I love that you're a meme historian. You're like, here's how it started. We were going to calm down, and then the zoo said, don't do that. So then we continued to do it for several years. That's how the economy of the internet works.
Yeah. Okay. I find it funny because it's old now, though.
Yeah. When was the last time you watched one of your old videos?
I like to go back and see my progress. So probably more than a lot of people would.
Yeah. Can I play one of them really quick? The audio. I found it this
morning.
My
guest. Oh, which video? Is it the Ice Bucket Challenge video?
No. Oh,
is it a banger?
I'm here.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
This is wild.
Why?
It's just I don't have anything from when I'm 12 or 13.
That's true.
Like, do you look back at this and do you
look back at this with pain, Philip DeFranco. Yeah.
I would look back on this with a little bit of a sense of pride. This is how far you've come.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is
which video is that? Which video is that?
It is a update vid on single player series from Blue Creepers 1.
I don't know when I'm getting back to that. Well,
oh, please, God, just randomly go back and continue the series. For no
I don't have access
reason.
to that channel.
What happened?
It was
Maker Studios took it. Son of a bitch.
Fucking Maker Studios again. No, I just lost the password, I think, and the email.
And then your other channel blew up, and you're like, fuck that channel forever.
Yeah.
Don't care.
The channel I'm on right now was actually originally a group channel, because I wanted all my friends in middle school to do a channel with me and have it become this big thing because that was a dream of mine. And then they all didn't do anything on it. And then it became my channel.
I was going to say, I was like, should the guys on Not Goopcast be concerned?
No.
That you've taken a group thing and then turned it into your own?
Well,
that there's no job security for the people behind the camera? That at any moment he might turn on you? They pay for my gas. Do you ever get concerned about the group thing? After Maker Studios, I've made it like a thing to not work with friends. I'm horrified.
Oh yeah, I'm terrified of it.
Yeah,
but it's also like,
but I bet it's so fun.
Yeah, there's definitely a fun aspect to it, and you gotta weigh the benefits. You know,
sure.
So like we started doing it around like 5 months ago, and I've had a lot of concerns with it because it is working with my friends, and I live with a few of them too.
Oh, so do you guys ever get time apart, or this is like
working on that? Working on that.
Hi.
I've realized it's something I value, so we're working on the whole living situation and making sure all of that goes smoothly, and it takes a lot to build it up, but I'm
totally no. But so with you building out kind of this group, what's the kind of the goal with it? Is it because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Is that as far as like a business standpoint, like you feel like you have to build something out, or you just want to fuck around with friends, or like what's a
combination of those two things? Definitely. I mean, it feels like if I don't do it, then it's wasted opportunity because there is such a overall benefit to first of all making a group brand that's gonna last a long time, hopefully.
Yes.
They usually don't work out, but
or I mean, get so big that people can make I left not goop videos and they blow up. They're huge.
Yeah,
1 million views.
Yeah,
or 10 million views.
One day we'll get there. I'm retiring from YouTube type of deal.
Oh, and at that point?
Maybe.
Well, wait, so what is, well, I mean, because that's kind of connected to what's the goal? I mean, you're 20, you've blown up has it been just like kind of the past year and a half? It was around May, June of 2018?
You did your work. Good job.
Sometimes. I'm just going to
Or you got someone on your team to do the work.
Well, it was a mixture because initially I looked at our research doc and it said he was from Ohio, and I was like, or you currently reside in Ohio, and I was like, no, he doesn't. I was like, I know, damn it. So
you got to whip these people into shape.
I don't hit them anymore.
Oh,
once you get over 20 people, it's illegal in California.
Oh, okay.
You should know that.
I'm
even
sorry.
in San Diego.
All right.
Which, by the way, why did you kind of settle up in San Diego rather than LA?
Because LA is hell.
Hell in which ways? Tell me, because I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's dry and arid, and everyone's awful.
Oh my God! Well, thank you for coming to hell to film.
Of course,
this. I
of course.
appreciate that. So, what are the positives then of a San Diego?
It's near the coast.
Sure.
You get that nice ocean breeze, and it's still close enough to LA that I can come here and do stuff like this podcast with Philip DeFranco.
When you were the way that you're describing it, though, it's like you could get a chunk of what you're talking about with Venice and Santa Monica.
Why would I go there?
Beaches too.
No.
Why not that? Is it just not your vibe in some way?
Just makes sense, Phil. All right. I'm just gonna keep living in San Diego.
Are you?
You're threatening my worldview.
I was like, have part of the group said that they want to live out here?
Yes.
But I don't know. There's some. I mean, you're so young that it feels like there's still has like kind of the honeymoon of, hey, I'm living with all my best friends. Like that's gone.
Yeah.
At what point is it like? Is it because of like bathroom shit, privacy stuff?
No, I mean it's just that I also work with my roommates, so
yeah.
I'd be perfectly fine if I had separation because I'm an introvert. So it's very important to me that I have time alone that I can recharge, and I don't really get that right now.
What do you do to recharge? Because I stopped streaming. Well, because I stopped streaming games because games used to be an escape for me. And then I streamed, like I was building it up like 5 years ago, and then it was just me kind of raging while playing FIFA, and I was like, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to showcase. And I want to go back to just playing bullshit story games that make me not think about YouTube. Like what if kind of like hang out with your friends is also part of work, if games are part of work, what do you do to not feel like you're working?
That's a genuine issue for me. Because I almost never play games if I'm not streaming it because it feels like it's a wasted opportunity. So to recharge, a lot of times I'll just lay in bed and it's great.
You just like it turn off.
Well, not completely because I still have my phone and I can work from my phone for a lot of stuff and organize for stuff.
I will say, because from some of the stuff that I found from you, because you say wasted opportunity. That's a thing that you've said kind of multiple times, that you get concerned about wasted opportunities.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Wasted potential is a big thing for me. I don't want to waste anything.
Yeah. And I mean, and you're not only part of the generation that came up with YouTube already existing, but you've seen the burnouts, you've seen the people disappear. Right. So it's like, yeah, I get it, but I really, really hope that you find some shit that makes you not feel like you're working, because that sounds rough, man.
Well,
and I've been there-ish, but that sounds rough.
I mean, I have hobbies, sort of.
What kind of hobbies?
I watch anime.
Okay.
That's enough.
You don't make videos around it or any shit like that. Like that's just for you.
No, yeah, that's just for me.
What else do you have?
Shit.
I want to help you find stuff, man, because I'm like very excited, but
I work a lot, Phil.
Yeah,
I work a lot,
and I get that you don't want to miss the opportunity, but
see, the thing is, working is fun for me too. So
sure, but do you think that you get right now all your value from like your job? Because I've seen you talk about like how you used to be addicted to Social Blade, that you had a watch that like updated you as far as your numbers.
You know this?
I research for a living.
I'm not addicted to Social Blade. I would never be.
No, but I mean, you care about your numbers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
They probably
it's
make
like
you
a
feel
game
something.
for me.
But like, do you feel like that's your the number one way that you feel value in this world?
Yes, I take all my social value and validation from
if you have a video that doesn't do that well or does less, do you feel bad that day?
Yes.
Why?
Because does
it mean the content's worse? Does it mean like
it just means I'm not doing enough, I think.
Or sometimes some shit doesn't pop. Like you don't control YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't control the algorithm. Although I will say, the more I talk to kind of like creators that are your age to like 26, the knowledge of the system and the testing is like, it's amazing. It's like, even my generation now has never been that kind of in tune with it. Do you feel like it's better for you right now that you can't watch that like live number on Social Blade?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's definitely healthier.
I was talking to,
I pay attention to it less, but at the same time, I want to be able to see that so that I can see if I'm progressing or if I'm doing anything wrong, or if there's one thing that's like, this is good. I like the immediate feedback.
So from that analytics point of view, I get it. The only reason I asked is I was talking to Eddie and Gus Johnson on their podcast, and they were like, I looked at it every fucking day, and now I'm in such a better headspace that I could just kind of focus on the content.
Yeah, I respect them a lot. They're probably right.
They're great. Well, that's the reason I asked for you. I don't know. I like that you came in before we started, and I was like, oh, this guy's gonna fuck with me the entire time, and now I feel like this is real.
Yeah, no, you're just my therapist, apparently.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to fuck with you. You invited me on your podcast. I'm a good guy.
You seem like a good guy.
Thanks.
Why did that seem weird to say? You seem like a good guy. Fucking asshole.
I mean, off the books.
Do you consume news in any way? Like, do you
like what kind of news?
Do you follow the news? Well, I mean, it can be any news.
I get all my news from Philip DeFranco.
Are you just saying that to be fucking? Are you do? Yeah. No, but I mean, do you follow the news?
No.
You don't. Even on Twitter or anything like that?
Not really. Well, on Twitter, sort of. Like if something super big is happening, like everyone tweets about like the earthquakes that were happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's so funny about that?
Well, because everyone fucking does it. It doesn't matter if, especially LA, people feel like the smallest little thing, some other place got shook the fuck up, and people, there's might be actual damage, and we're like, my shutters. And I'm like, I mean, I get it, but Yeah, man.
Besides that, I don't keep up with news. No.
Okay. Do you think that comes from a place of indifference? Do you feel like it's a mindset of like everything's gonna be fine, so I'm gonna focus on my own shit, or the world's already on fire? There's no reason paying attention.
Well, it's all of that, really. I mean, like, because that's all valid, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but do you?
it's a lot of news is very unhealthy in the first place because it's all negative. It's all
almost all
negative headlines most of the time when it's like big news. Now we're unlike Philip DeFranco's show.
No, I was like, we're almost all negative. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a person that likes to keep things very positive for myself because it makes me feel healthier and more productive, I typically stay away from this.
I get that. I mean,
unless it's Philip DeFranco's show.
Are you just trying to get me to put you right before the beginning?
I don't know.
I mean, I get that mindset. There are times where I just want to not pay attention, but I think if
that's your job.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I think if I wasn't doing it as a job, if I wasn't putting out stuff, I probably wouldn't pay attention. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm just pouring some water. What were you saying? Keep going.
No, I got very nervous that you were going to pour that water all over your pants, but you got it.
I already did a little bit.
Oh shit. What other creators
I'm
out
not
there?
afraid of the water. It's okay, Phil.
Say what?
I'm not afraid of the water. It's okay.
You should be, because it's not water. Was the bottle closed when you first started drinking it?
What were you saying?
What? I mean, we were talking about the news, but then what kind of? Okay, so if you're not following the news, do you watch people on YouTube?
Yes.
What kind of?
I watch a lot of YouTube.
What kind of people?
Oh, well,
Top
I have a
3.
long
Everyone
list.
else is horrible.
What?
No.
That's not how this works at all.
No.
I'm all over the place. Big inspirations are like Donkey, Gus Johnson, Nakey Jakey. There's creators that I've never missed an upload from, I guess. Actually, no, pretty much just Donkey. I've never missed an upload from. Yeah, no, it's all over the place. I watch a lot of content. I'll watch like video essays a bunch. That's a weird one that I don't know. I enjoy people's outlook on media.
Anything? Is it geared towards anything in particular, like the video essays?
No, it's just like looking deeper to like a character study on this character in this movie, like Nerd Writer or someone like that.
Oh wow, yeah, I haven't watched them in a while, but yeah, great.
Yeah.
What out of the stuff that you've made, is there because it sounds like when you were talking about like I look at my numbers to make sure I'm doing stuff right, wrong, and you kind of find that for you personally, is there like a video or two that you're like, I was really, really proud of that, even if it's in recent memory?
Yeah, I'm proud of a lot of my content on my main channel. I strive to make sure that the stuff that goes out on my main channel is stuff that I'm pretty proud of. In particular, I'm very proud of. I've done 2 videos on my main channel where it's IRL. It's at conventions, and I go and I interview with people, and it's just a real mishmash of me asking people weird shit and just weird clips in general. And I'm very proud of those because it's out of my comfort zone.
When was the last time you made one of those?
March.
Okay, so it's kind of been a minute.
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
I'd like to. I have an entire idea for a video that's like a big one. That's like that, not at a convention, because the other 2 were at conventions, and that made it a little bit easier.
Sure.
But I haven't gone around to it, and it's very hard to plan for that for me.
Do you feel like it's going to be harder to pull that off now that more and more and more people know you?
Yes, that's why. So I could not film. I recently went to TwitchCon, and I wanted to be able to film that video there, and it was impossible because I got recognized too much. Oh, I'm just such a big deal. It's not like that, but
you don't have to dismiss it. Like, it's people watch your shit. People really.
I feel like I have to dismiss it because I don't want people to assume like I'm complaining or anything. It's more just this is something I can't do anymore, and that's something I'm dealing with.
Sure. I mean, I get it to a certain degree, right? It's not like the most relatable thing to say, but it is a very valid thing to say. Do you feel like if you do one of those videos again, you're going to have to go like in a disguise of some sort, or like how do you pull that off, or just a completely different demo as far as conventions?
Different demographic, I think I would have to do.
Yeah. Is there anything that you haven't done yet that now that you kind of have garnered this audience, you've garnered the stability that you want to try? And I mean, you're already doing so much, but is there anything different?
I would like to do bigger. The thing is, I always want to improve what I'm doing. And because I have more resources and all of that, I should be upgrading and doing bigger and better things. And that's the plan with the group content that I'm making over there. With them is to do a lot of new stuff there that's different and puts more of me and my personality on display in real life.
When you say putting more of your personality on display in real life, what does that mean?
On my main channel, I don't know. It's very different for content. If everything is in the shot, my main channel, it's not really like that.
Sure.
It's a lot of like commentary.
Redo America. Yeah.
Oh yeah, new map of America.
Yeah.
We just that's a stupid video.
But it's such a random idea, so I get why like people love. So would you say that why are you concerned about that? I mean, I feel like people are on board with you.
Yeah, but the more you put out there, the better.
The more you put out there, the better? What do you mean?
Like, I don't think I'm putting enough of me out there right now, and I think I could do more.
Do you think of yourself as like a person or like a product? Because that's what I'm getting vibes of like, you're very like, sure, you like meme and shitpost, but it feels very much like you've got a business head and focus on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird balance. It's like a tightrope walk for me, because I am very serious about my work, but it's also, I don't take myself seriously whatsoever.
In what way do you think you don't take yourself seriously? Because you've garnered this audience, so that shows.
Phil, I take pictures of myself just like at this angle, and then I post on social media. Sure. Like stuff like that. I just do ridiculous shit.
But that's counterculture 101. What are you talking about? That's like so I've had people on recently and we've talked about, so when like YouTube first was coming up, a lot of the big first people that came up were kind of initially outsiders and people that weren't traditional in any way. And now with like the TikTok, Instagram generation, it's very much like the most popular kids in class, right? But there's always going to be the market for shit posting, memes, counterculture shit. And that's like, not to just fucking put you in a box in some way, but it feels...
No, it's fine.
I'm just going to lock you in there right now.
Okay.
It feels like that... But when you do that, is that you being genuinely you?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not like you thinking of it from a marketing standpoint and blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's part of it.
Sure.
I mean, anything I post is going to... Like, is this going to do well? I'm not going to post it if it's not going to do well. But it's also... for me, is this funny? Is it
sure?
Because is it funny to me? Because if it's funny to me, I think it'll be funny to everyone else.
So when that happens, when you think it's funny to you, you think it's gonna be funny to everyone else, and then let's say it underperforms, unless that's never happened.
Bullshit.
Do you delete it?
I sometimes. So like I tweet a lot. Every single day I tweet.
Why do you delete it?
Because if it's not good enough, then I'm gonna get rid of it.
But not good enough. So there are people that liked it.
Yeah.
But maybe not universally everyone liked it, but then you deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why?
What do you mean?
Like, is it because people are going to see it and be like, oh, Carson's dropping?
No. It's because I hold myself to a standard and because I want to always be improving. And if I'm not, if it's a step back, that for me personally, I don't want to see that.
Okay. I mean, I get why you're saying it and why you would be doing it, but it feels like it's destructive to some degree.
Probably.
What?
I live a weird life, Phil.
It sounds like you have a very dangerous like connection to social media, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want nothing but success for you because it's, yeah, God. So, but no, I mean, it's just, What do you think happens if you leave that post up?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, so like if someone comes to my Twitter and it's a completely new person, I want that person to get the best of me immediately right off the bat.
Sure.
And if someone's not, if that tweet doesn't appeal to them, they're not going to be as not impacted. But I want everyone that comes to immediately be like, I want to follow this person. I want to keep up with this person. So I try to keep everything that's there as good as possible.
Okay. I kind of get that. But I mean, have you ever thought that it's like the thing that you think didn't hit well may have just hit with like a group that just isn't watching you right now, right? And potentially it brings other people into the fold?
Not really.
No?
Because it most of the time it's already going out to people that are already my followers, and
sure,
their friends are probably friends that would enjoy that person's whatever that person enjoys. So a lot of the people that would see my tweets or see my post are going to be the type of people that would already want to see that. Does that make sense?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I get it to a certain degree. Yeah.
Well, what do you want me to put out there?
Here's what I want you to do. It sounds like you're just so stressed about the numbers. Mm-hmm. That's so like, and hey, you're 20. You don't have heart problems. You don't have but that shit's going to age you, man. Like,
yeah.
Luckily you're not paying attention to the news. So that's not going to age you. I feel like everyone's been fucking aging at a rate of like 7x right now. But, okay. All right, man.
All right.
Hey, really quick, I hope you're enjoying the podcast. This is a small little break. If you're supporting the show, you want to support it while also getting something awesome, I highly recommend you go to shopdefranco.com. There you can snag some of our best sellers like the Pretentious Tea, also the Why Be Informed When You Can Use Your Feelings as Your Facts Tea, perfect for you or maybe just a snarky present, as well as one of our newest releases, the One Day We'll All Be Skeletons Varsity Jacket. So that, and of course so much more, all available on shopdefranco.com. With all that said though, enjoy the rest of the podcast.
You kind of talked about trying to take more of a back seat and use it as an opportunity to showcase others, which I think is really, really healthy.
I want to build them up.
Yeah.
And I think they have as much as potential as anyone.
Okay. So can we talk about then some of the stuff with the group then?
Let's do it.
When you're doing that, right? Because I've seen it handled different ways, and you said we could talk about whatever.
Okay.
When you set that up, do you essentially operate as, okay, on your individual stuff, we start doing splits a la Jake Paul? Is it kind of more the Dobrik thing where it's like not from your channel, but maybe merch, allegedly?
Oh, so you're saying content that we create as a group, where does that money go?
Well, is everyone's solo stuff still theirs?
Yes.
Love that. And then as a group, it's, okay, so yeah, then walk us through that. Because that's interesting to me.
As a group, we handle it with splits, and that's pretty normal, I would say, for a business. But like everyone's individual stuff definitely is still theirs.
That's awesome.
We're creating content specifically for that channel, and creating a podcast for that group that is its own thing. So any of the money goes into that as a business itself.
Okay, and so that's very giving of you. I mean, it is, because I've seen, I'm not going to talk about any individual thing, but because I've seen situations where there's a group thing and maybe there's some splits there, but then usually people, or not usually, in some instances, people tie it to the original channel because maybe there's an ad spot that doesn't just work on the podcast, but it goes there. There's some situations that get really nasty with the splits, and then some places it's like there's a split on merchandise, but that's okay. I mean, that's really great.
Yeah.
I can walk away not hating you.
Yes.
That's the whole goal.
Oh, All I want to do is please you, Phil.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I love to hear from every single person in my life.
Great.
Amanda, from any of the stuff that we've talked about, is there anything that you think that we should hit on? I mean, we've been all over the place. I think I've enjoyed it. It's been shit posting and then apparently therapy for you.
I'm fine, Phil.
That I sprung on you.
I'm great. I don't know what your problem is.
Well, I was like, I'm mentally better than any time in the past, but I also know that it's at a slightly slower output, right? Because it's like once again, it's like I made the change so I could play video games for my enjoyment. I love nothing more in the world than fucking go to a movie theater by myself and just like disappear for 2 hours.
I mean, I just watch a lot of stuff on my own. I crawl into bed at like 5 a.m. so that I'm like emotionally vulnerable. And then
You're emotionally vulnerable at 5 a.m.?
Yeah. And then I watch stuff. That's
now
completely, I get that.
Now that I can DM you, that's when I know the sweet spot to message you.
Well, it's not. It's my alone time.
That's not Carson and Phil time. That's just Carson.
It's Carson time. All right.
Hi. Since Carson, it's too real. No, if everything goes away tomorrow,
yes.
YouTube goes, hey, by the way, we're not just having to fuck over these kids' channels now. Specifically, Carson.
Yeah,
you're screwed. Your channel gets deleted. Everything goes back to zero. What do you? Well,
is it just my channel, or is it all the other stuff I've built up too?
Let's say all the stuff.
All the stuff?
Yeah.
Wow, that's disgusting. I don't know. I have not thought about that. I don't want to think about that. It's a complete upheaval of my life because it's like everything I built up over the last year and a half has been for this. So if that all just went away right off the bat, well, I guess I'm going back to college.
You would go back to college?
That's what I have to do because like, what am I going to do now?
Well, at least it wouldn't be weird if you went back. Like no one's like, why is that 35-year-old there?
It'd be weird for me.
I mean, for you internally.
Oh my gosh.
But you would look the part.
I'd be in a dark place.
Do you not? Well, I mean, I know
I was in a dark
out.
place in college.
Why?
Because in college, I hate school. I'm very bad at school. I don't want to have to not take orders from people, but
I was like that. I get that.
I want to do my own thing. I want to be in charge of whatever I want to make or do with my time. And I could not do that in college. And if I had to go back, then I would be screwed.
What was your degree, or were you kind of like just?
I was going to do media communication, so I would be going into like TV, radio, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's kind of.
I mean, was it something that you were slightly passionate about, or you were like, I've just got to get this degree to get the degree, and it'll get me something?
It made the most sense out of everything because I had an overall interest in creating content, and I've had that for a long time. But since I was like 11, I wanted to be a YouTuber. So this it would be very difficult, and my life would just go completely off track. Because up until now, I was all like, I want to be a YouTuber. I'm gonna keep trying this, and it worked out. But if that didn't work out, I'd be very sad.
Do you get random, or have you gotten randomly hit up by people from college and high school after what your initial pop or now? Not
as much as you would think, because I was very to myself in high school and college. I keep in contact with a couple of people from high school that I still do stuff with online. Hung out with them at TwitchCon and stuff like that. But I didn't really keep up with anyone after high school or college. Occasionally people will be like, hey, that's awesome, man. And I'll be like, thanks. Besides that, not really.
That's good. So no one trying to like grab onto your coat.
No, not really.
That's good. And
I think they're too put off by the fact that everything I put out is ridiculous. Like what are they gonna do?
Well, I mean, as far as you were talking about the numbers, I feel like a lot of people are guilty of that. Like they just go like, oh, like content be damned. They're just like, oh, that person has attention or a thing that I want. Or,
I guess.
Or like they want to get close to. Do you have you ever like looked back hatefully on people that you dislike to see if they're failing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm vengeful.
I mean, you're 20. It's the time to be your.
No. I just think it's. I mean, yeah.
Your gaze off into the distance was very specific. Is there if we could talk, who, why, what?
Well, I mean, it's just like,
You don't have to use a name.
Oh, I wasn't going to. Thanks.
You don't have to give their address, not their phone number, please. I'm waiting for you, sir.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I kind of pay attention to. Well, no, I don't pay attention to it. Like, okay, if I'm going to do that, which I have done in the past, very, very rarely.
Like a lot of people are guilty of that.
I will go and I will see what's this person up to, and then I'll think about it. And then I'll move on.
Yeah, I know. I just wonder because it was like, especially when I was younger and everything was fresh and new, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in this like unbelievable position. I was like, that guy that went around saying that he kissed my girlfriend. What is he doing?
That's not a problem, Phil, for me.
Why is that not a problem for you?
I have not had a girlfriend before.
Ever?
Never.
Lack of desire, you seem, or what?
Opportunity has not arisen.
No? Do you think it's because you're so focused on work?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And also, I was very to myself in high school and college. And then after I dropped out of college, I sunk into work. And you don't really meet people too much in this field until you start really going places, I guess.
But so,
like, I wouldn't have met you, Philip
what?
DeFranco. If so, like I had to get on YouTubers React for you to know who I was,
True,
right?
yeah.
So I wouldn't have met you unless I did that. So it takes a while to meet people.
Sure. But I mean, you're also not trying to fuck me. Like, how do you? Oh, are you? It's okay.
No, I just keep going, Phil. What were you saying?
No, but I mean, like, do you feel like you put yourself into situations now, or do you like in any way where you can meet people?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I mean,
way more.
Okay.
Like I went to Australia and I'm meeting people more, which is good for me.
And were there like interesting situations that all of a sudden popped up because you're like throwing yourself out there now?
Yeah.
Does part of that come with concerns?
Yes.
What kind of concerns?
Well, I'm terrified.
Of what?
I mean, there's general concern that like anyone that you talk to is going to be like a clout chaser or something.
Sure.
I like to reserve my judgments before I actually, I would like to get to know a person before I decide this person's just trying to get something out of me.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm wary of.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason to be. Actually, a question that I kind of always ask: why did you come on to do this?
Oh, because you're Philip DeFranco. I wanted to. It's an honor for me because you're one of like the oldest YouTubers that's around. You have a very big presence online. A lot of people respect you, and I respect you. So I wanted to go on your show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait. So have you actually genuinely watched the show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I can't tell. I can't read you, man.
You can't read me?
I can't read you.
A lot of people say they can't read me. I'm sorry.
But do you think that, but that's the thing that I'm trying to gauge. Do you think that's intentional? I know that like before we were on the podcast, we used like a mishmash of words of like exaggerated personality or character or something like that. Is it a known kind of behavior or act in some way or?
To make myself hard to read?
Yeah.
No. I'd prefer if I was very easy to read.
Do you think that maybe part of that stems from because you seem like just like a fun, sarcastic person? Do you think that's why?
I guess, yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing: is like my roommates think I'm super easy to read, but I guess for people that are just meeting me, that it's like it's a little off-putting.
I don't think it's off-putting. I think it's just I see the version of you online that is like very like memey and like fuck around.
Yeah,
and so maybe even part of it. With how you came in, I will say you fed into that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. But I've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable.
We've touched on things that have been strange for both of us.
It's fun.
Because this is the most
what?
The most unorthodox one that I've had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that's what I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I genuinely was excited because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect either. This is terrifying.
You're great.
When it's something new like this, I definitely have to like work up to being prepared for it.
Sure.
First time I did YouTubers React, it was like,
right.
and that's just because it's not something I'm used to.
Sure.
So I go into these pretty scared.
But you're already doing like the right thing in the sense of putting yourself outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like it's very easy, especially out here, to just like stay in your bubble.
Yeah.
I always wonder with parents now, especially like what their thoughts were when you got involved with YouTube. I think you've said in the past that your mom was like a stay-at-home mom. Your dad was a professor of communication. Is that correct? What was their feeling when you were kind of dedicating time to this?
Well, it was difficult because I mean it's very non-traditional work.
Sure.
And it took a lot to convince them that maybe I could really do something with this. So when I originally, I actually did like a pitch to them. I did a PowerPoint because I was miserable and in college, and I didn't want to have to deal with it. So like at the end of my freshman year, I put together a PowerPoint. This is what I think I could be able to do. This is and it didn't really convince them, but it was enough to get them to be willing to let me over the summer try it out.
Sure.
And it definitely benefited me, but like they're still getting used to it even now because it's very weird.
I love the fucking fact that you made a PowerPoint.
I didn't know how to present my thoughts better, so I made a PowerPoint.
Do you know how many how long it was?
It was like 10 slides or something, but it's very important slides. All right.
What was the kind of like final pitch of like why it was worth it?
Because I hated school and I thought this is something that gives me joy. I want to try and be able to do this over the summer. I wasn't pitching, hey, I'm gonna make this my job, because I had 10,000 subscribers at the time, and it was just I want to try and like put my all into this.
How old were you at the time that you made this PowerPoint?
This was 2 years ago.
Okay. Wait, so while you're in college? Wait.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and so you're like essentially like I don't want to have like a summer job or something, or like I want to focus on
They
this.
They wanted me to work the entire summer, and I really didn't want to do that.
But then they said, okay, you get this summer.
Essentially, they were like,
or succeed.
Yeah.
Okay, so so do you think that they said yes because they were like he'll get it out of his system?
I don't know,
and then he could fucking go back. to
I'd like to think they believed in me.
Yeah. Well, you were saying though that they still have like. They still don't know what to think of it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a weird job, especially because it did work out.
I mean, I feel like it's hard. It's hard to deny the numbers. Like as long as if you can see it, then you're like, okay, it's a real thing. I mean, because you're at a size.
I just had to prove it.
Yeah, and I feel like you have.
Yeah.
Thus far.
So far. It could come crumbling down.
I hope not.
In your hypothetical about everything disappearing.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, but I think it's always kind of good to know. Well, I always ask because I've had people on that I'm also a dropout. I dropped out with debt. Hey, it worked. It worked for us.
That's awesome.
But like, I don't want people to go like, I should follow that.
Yeah, don't stay in school.
Because I had Marquez Brownlee on last week.
Did he drop out?
No, he got his degree because he's a goddamn grown up, unlike me.
Loser, if you ask me. He's a loser.
With his degree in case it all went away. Although it's like, even if it all went away now, like you'd still be able to find jobs.
I would hope so.
Unless once again the entire internet went away.
You know what I would do?
What?
You know those social marketing interns that like run like the brand accounts? I would become one of those. Yeah, I would run like the.
Oh yeah, actually no, that's 1,000% down your alley.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I could do that easy. And get a chump change for it and be fine.
Yeah, no, I don't have that relationship with Twitter. I look at Twitter for like 20 minutes. I'm like, nah, it's not worth posting. It's just, it'll stay in my head. I'll just leave it in there.
I have drafts. I write stuff down and then pick it later on to tweet.
That's probably oh. I thought you meant of like stuff you don't like. Oh, you're like prepped. How many drafts do you think you have ready, locked and loaded?
I'm like, well, a lot of the drafts are ones I don't pick, but it's just like write it down in case I can make something funny with it.
Are we ever going to see that video?
What?
Of just your drafts that weren't good enough?
No.
Or is it like stuff?
Oh
that you
no,
cringe,
some stuff should stay in the drafts for sure.
Yeah. I get that. I feel like that's my last 6 years. I'm like, I don't need to say some shit. Just keep it locked in my head.
Yeah.
Because Twitter's the easiest way to get in fucking trouble.
Well, I tweet ridiculous stuff like comedy. So
I was looking at it. I was like, I feel like 1 out of every 8 tweets is him just tweeting something someone else said.
No, that's just this week.
That's just this week. Okay.
I tweeted something from Markiplier this morning.
I was like Pokemon.
And Pokemon. Yeah. Because I think it's funny.
Yeah. Solid content.
And it's targeted to them. I want them to see it. I will.
So I feel like you just need to do it with people that are smaller than you so that you can just be like, just take it. Just like, I'm bigger. Everyone's going to think I did it first.
No, I've done that. I've stolen their tweets before.
Why did you let him do it? Because he gets more likes? I mean, I guess that's like the kind of team players you want.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I was acting like they were team players, but you played it off as dictator.
That's how it should be.
So I've seen you talk about, I think it was somewhat recently, that you hate the version of who you were 2 years ago.
Yes.
What's the last version of you that you hated? Like in the sense of like, do you hate yourself from 6 months ago? Do you hate yourself from a year ago?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
do
generally,
you hate yourself now?
No. It's more of a thing like I was saying before, I always want to be improving, and I can see when I look back, oh well, that wasn't funny, or that wasn't up to my standards now. So it makes sense that I would look down on that.
Do you think that you'll ever be at a place where, I mean, because I know that we talked about your old channel, you talked about not having access to it. Do you think you'll ever hit a point in the future where you look at like who you are now and you're like, I don't like that person, and maybe to the point of removing old content?
Not now. I definitely removed a lot of content that I thought was not worthy on my main channel.
Sure.
Because I wanted it to mostly just be a hub of, this is my best content, and this is what I think a lot of people want to see. And I think a lot of people for a while are going to want to see the stuff I have up on my main channel. So like 2 years down the road, I don't think I'm going to have taken down a lot of that content.
Sure. How do you imagine this evolving for yourself? I know that it's a year and a half, which feels probably so fast and so long at this point.
Yeah.
What do you want to try and accomplish over the next 2-3 years?
2-3 years?
Yeah. And then in 2-3 years, we'll play this clip. Be like, what happened?
I don't know, like a year from now, you know? I'm always trying to do new stuff. So hopefully I'm doing something new and better 2 to 3 years from now.
And do you mean that as far as the format, the content, the place? What do you mean?
Anything. Well, so here's how I view what I do right now.
Sure.
So say you're an ice cream parlor and you're putting out just vanilla ice cream, sure, right? And that was my main channel. And then I was like, I'm going to do streaming, and I really want to push streaming. And that was my chocolate flavor. And I brought that out, and that's great. I want to keep coming out with new flavors because then I can attract more people.
I mean, that makes sense. So do you see then the group channel as a way of sustaining relevance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of the way the economy of the situation works.
Sure.
It's like that makes sense. See, you got a business head around you. Everyone's talking memes and shit, but I love it.
I guess. I don't really consider myself like that though. I don't look at myself like that really. I just think I want to do my best work.
Well, I mean, what do you see as success then?
Continuing to get better at stuff. I don't know.
So, okay, I mean, is it...
I kind of live in the moment a lot of the time.
Does the number like that's associated with your view count matter more to you than like the dollars that it brings in right now?
Ooh, good question, Phil. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the money doesn't really matter all that much to me right now. I mean, obviously it's good money.
Sure.
And I would prefer it to be coming in than not coming in. But it's not my focus right now. And as long as I can live and make content that I'm proud of, then I think I'll be fine.
Did you grow up having or not having money?
Kind
of middle of the road?
Lower middle class. Our house backed up to a cornfield. It was in like a suburb, but like I grew up in Indiana. So it's not like, oh, money bags.
Sure. But do you feel like, I mean, coming from that to your situation now, which I mean, I don't know what it fully is.
It's more money.
It is more money.
YouTubers make money.
Sure. But do you feel like your relationship with money's changed? Because
Yes.
I remember
Definitely.
when I was a kid, like, I'm going to fucking save up for fucking aging myself, Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Money's weird. Well, I would get like anything in technology. I didn't really have like a job. So, like up until I was like 16, I didn't have a job. So I didn't really work at all. So I would get like new game console or something. I'd have to wait for my birthday or Christmas. Sure. Now I don't really have to wait, and it's great.
Do you ever, like, this is something I think about now more so even though, or because I have kids, do you feel like the immediacy makes you appreciate it less? I mean, I love being able to do something more than not being able to do something, but do you feel like it's just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this now? Like instead of maybe the rush of like you had to wait and then you finally got it or earned it.
Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why it's so exciting to go to movies that come out. Because you've been waiting for the movie, and then you finally get to go see it, and it's great. And it's like, well, if I didn't have to wait for that, then I would. It's the hype of getting to that point.
Yeah. I think the moment that I was like, oh, I'm somewhat disconnected, and it was just the tiniest thing, was when someone was like angry that something was a PlayStation exclusive, and I was like, well, why don't you just get it for your play? Oh, fuck me, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel somewhat disconnected now? And once again, I know that it's like it's really fresh for you.
Well, yeah, it's very fresh. Yeah, I would say so. It's very weird. I don't have like a shit ton of money, but you
have to release your palette first.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it.
Compared to that, no, I don't. Well,
I think all of us compared to that.
Yeah.
When people were like, I don't have Jeffree Star money, I was like, bitch, no one has Jeffree Star money.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Did you watch it and go like,
I didn't? No, I
know that you were a big fan of the series around makeup. No, I know that you probably didn't watch it. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, but you've seen like the clips or
of course,
people talking about it. Yeah, I just what would you do with that much money? Would you just quit at that point?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing for me is it's not about the money. That's super cliche to say, but I'd take much more fulfillment out of being able to keep making content and making whatever I want to make. So the money doesn't really factor in there unless I need the money to make what I want to make.
So a question I had asked, I think it was like 2 podcasts ago, and it was kind of like a throwaway, and maybe you have a different answer then. If you could only be rich or famous, for you, is it famous?
Oh, that's a different.
I mean, you're not broke. You're living okay.
I don't know. Well, it's. I think I'd rather be rich.
Yeah, right. I feel like fame doesn't solve problems. It feels like it's more inclined to create them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
There's also a power associated with it, right? You can be a mover of people or.
No, I think I'd rather just be like a rich millionaire with a super nice mansion that I can just play fucking Mario 64 in. You know?
Just that.
Yeah.
I don't even fill the house with furniture. It's just a fucking power play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for being on the oddest podcast I've been on or I've done.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm sorry it was so strange.
No, it was, dude, it's fun.
Okay. Cool. Good.
It's why I did this, because I wanted, one, to try and learn how to talk to people, and two, I've only been eating vanilla ice cream for a really, really long time, and so this is my
You
chocolate.
like my analogy?
Yeah, to go back to your analogy.
I recently came up with that, and I was really proud of it.
Well,
I've been thinking about becoming a philosopher.
I think do it.
You think?
Do it. I don't care if you're doing it for real or ironically.
I'm gonna get 5 PhDs.
Because you love college so much. That's the main thing that I learned.
And because I'm an intellectual.
Yes. I agree.